So good afternoon. My name is Don Zantac. I'm the Director of Food and Beverage here at the Carrington. For those who haven't seen me in the last week or so, I used to be here a couple years ago as the chef. So return now as the Director of Food and Beverage, and I'm very happy to see a lot of familiar faces and to meet new faces. And in the meeting, as far as the format, I really encourage people to use the comment cards. I want to keep these meetings as constructive as possible, and I know that there's things that we need to work on, but I would again like to be positive and constructive in the feedback that we have for these meetings. So please use the comment cards. And things that you'd like to see or corrections that we need to make, so we can keep moving forward. Starting off, just a few notes. This weekend we have Rosh Hashanah, Monday and Tuesday. I'm working on the menus now, or finishing them, and within the menu, as well as there'll be a separate attachment for the Rosh Hashanah, which we'll have the first seating, but the second seating is going to actually be for the high holiday. But on the menu itself, you're going to see another abbreviation. It's DF for dairy free. In talking with residents, they don't always know based on the description, and there's some digestive issues. So you'll see a new abbreviation on the menu. Again, that'll be DF for dairy free. In a positive way, we have a few new hires that are starting this week, and then in the next orientation, we have approximately 4 servers starting, and then with the next orientation, which is in 2 more weeks, if they go through the process, we should have 7 more. So it's really positive in the way of front of the house staff. We're still challenged as far as back of the house staff for the numbers. Chef is doing a great job with the people that he has, but we're still using some contract labor, and but we're working diligently. And again, Deb is over at the mall with HR for the job fair, and it's a great opportunity locally to meet people and hopefully be able to bring some people in. Food items, as you've noticed, and this was an issue when I was here before. Watermelon, it's late in the season for watermelon, and Chef and I were talking, and frankly, it's not the quality that we want. And we're paying, and the watermelon market has been extremely expensive. But I don't want to give you something for the sake of just giving you something that you're not going to be happy with when it's a poor product. So moving forward, we're going to eliminate watermelon for a little while. So as you know, fortunately and unfortunately, products are available 365 days a year because it comes from other parts of the world. What we have to deal with is that transition in between seasons when we're still getting product locally, meaning the states, and it's again it's at the end of the season, so the fresh, the ripeness and things like that aren't what we would expect when it's in prime season, and then it's being grown in countries, in Central America, but they're not quite into their season of growing. So at least for the near future, we're going to take watermelon out. Although, like today we still have watermelon, but in the next week or so, we're going to be phasing that out just because I don't want to offer you a poor product just for the sake of offering you that. I want the quality to be where it needs to be. So Chef and I will take a look at that when we start getting that product in from other parts of the world. Next Tuesday, because we have the resident meeting, we'll have box lunches for lunch, so you'll see that on your menu as well. For those who have asked, Dawn will be back on Saturday over in the Tui Tap. She's been on vacation, but she will be returning to us on Saturday. So we're excited about that. Again, moving forward for these meetings, we'll have one meeting a month starting next month, and it'll be the third Wednesday at 1:30. Okay. And then I did have a question. You know, I'm of the attitude, and there's a book by a restaurateur. The answer is yes. Now, what is the question? And within reason, I want to be able to provide you guys with what you want. You know, we know your importance. You know, we're in your home, and we appreciate that. And a question came up from a resident. Can I get a hot fudge sundae? And I said, well, you know, yeah, we have the ingredients, but the feeling with the staff was, well, it's on the menu, you know, 3 days a week. I said, well, if we have the ice cream and we have the hot fudge, which Chef has both in stock, then why couldn't we have a hot fudge sundae as an example? If we have the ingredients, you know, it might take a few minutes because then we have to, if we don't have that on the menu, we have to, you know, heat up the hot fudge. But, you know, we want to be able to offer those things to you. And it's just like the server should be telling you when you have, when you want a specialty salad, just allow us 15 minutes because there's some salads that we have ready to go for prep and be able to make it fast. But with certain modifications, it's going to take a little bit. So again, with that theme, because we want you happy, we know, we all love ice cream. So something like that, as long as it's a reasonable request, we want to be able to provide it for you. And again, providing Chef has the ingredients available, we want to be able to have that for you. Okay, so we just, we want to turn our culture around a little bit. So we're, the first answer is no. The first answer is yes, and let's see how we can make that work. Is that fair for everybody?
That's fair, sure.
Okay.
It's fair.
And the same thing with your menu items. And I hear we have certain requests and things like that. I'll get them on the menu. We have fans of different foods, so it's not going to happen all at once. But be rest assured that we hear you loud and clear. We know you have your favorites, and we'll try to provide that as soon as possible for you. Chef, is there anything you want to add?
No, I totally agree.
We had Sharon who comes by for inspections. They're not official health inspector inspections, but she commented today what a great job Chef is doing in the kitchen as far as organizing things and keeping things clean and orderly. And so I'd like to recognize Chef for doing a great job in the kitchen. And again, he has his challenges with staffing, but he's doing a really good job in that organization. So kudos to him. So thank you very much for your efforts.
Thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to open it up to the floor for comments, concerns.
I think that it was last night that we had veal.
The night before?
Night before,
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. I think that when you're gonna serve a dish, and if you're gonna put gravy on it, it should be stated on the menu. In other words, we didn't know anything about the veal. I asked, did it come with anything? And the server said no, just
Okay.
plain, but it was loaded with gravy.
Okay.
So if it's gonna have gravy, it should say so on the menu, so we can say we'd like it on the side.
Okay,
Okay.
fair enough.
One of my requests is we used to have corned beef hash in the morning,
Yep.
at least once a week. I would like to see that back on the menu.
When you see that menu come out next week, you might see that.
Good, okay. And I'm happy to hear I wasn't the one with the hot fudge, but I'm very happy to hear you're gonna have hot fudge. And I would appreciate less cream soups. Less cream soups. What you're serving now, the beef barley and the chicken noodle soup and the gum, that's all wonderful. But too many cheesy soups.
Okay.
Sir?
I have a couple of comments. First off, I would like to suggest strongly that you watch the amount of salt that's being served. And with seniors, it's very important. If we want salt in the food, make us serve it ourselves. But the ingestion of salt by seniors is a very serious medical problem. But secondly, very often the soup comes out cold. Sometimes if it isn't cold, it's tepid. And I guess I'm silly, but I like hot soup. And many times I've sent it back and asked them to please microwave it or something. And the second thing that I see periodically is cold food. I mean, just, there's no warmth to it. And I don't particularly enjoy that. I know service is problem. I was told off the record by somebody in the kitchen that a lot of these servers are standing around and using their phones and having conversations, whatever the conversations are, one way or the other. But I was told that they, if they're not busy, if they're in the kitchen, out come their phones. And to me, it seems more sense, if you're not busy, go back out into the dining room and ask somebody if they want some coffee or some extra water, or take a dish off the table. I don't think it's illegal for a server to take a dish off the table, and I've sat there many times for 20, 30 minutes with my a used service plate is just not very appetizing.
Sure.
Get it off the table. It's better they should be doing that than standing in the kitchen and using, I don't think a phone belongs in the kitchen, not my job. Using a phone in the kitchen makes no sense.
I agree with you 100%. And to answer that, in our training and moving forward, we're talking about, leaving the kitchen, leaving the hands full and going out and coming in. Meaning, when you leave, you can, whether it's your table or not, that you're picking up soiled items on the tables. So, and as far as the phone issue and the staff, that's one of the things I've noticed in the last week or so. You're absolutely 100% correct. But understand too that when the food comes out, we're batching it, meaning it's cooked as close to pickup time as possible and being finished, and then it goes underneath the heat lamp. So as far as the cold issue, we have to look whether they're being distracted and they're setting the food down, because when the chef puts up the food, it's hot. We know that. And in fact, he monitors and he takes temperatures and everything else. So there's a breakdown, obviously, and when the food comes up in the window and getting to your table. So I do apologize for that, but aware of it, and we're working on it moving forward.
Very good. And one part, chef's been very cooperative. I've asked them for some stuff, and if I may speak a couple other things, I think we need some more vegetables out there as far as.
Okay.
And I've asked for the cooked tomatoes with Parmesan, cooked tomatoes with Parmesan has always been excellent. It should be an option. And as far as side vegetables, peas, there are cooked carrots and a whole bunch of vegetables that should be available. And one of the other things, I've been here a couple of years and I've noticed, well, we always have that available. Tell us about it. I mean, there's some of the things that are available that I guess are, I'm being sarcastic, are a bit of a secret. Oh, we always have that, but we're never told. It's just not available. Give us a note that if you want this, it's there. And on the way to vegetables, sauteed spinach, I think is very good. There are a lot of things that, when I say good, healthy, I forget about the taste. I think they're healthy for us, and there are a whole lot of side vegetables. We had rutabaga. I never ate rutabaga. It was good. I mean, I would have said, I don't want rutabaga. I never heard of it. But I enjoyed it. It was, and if you're gonna have some of this stuff, as I say, don't keep it a secret. Let us know about it.
Okay, thank you.
Me?
No,
I can't tell.
sorry.
I noticed this week that you're having the same soup for the whole week for.
Yeah, I knew that was.
Are you going to keep?
I knew that was gonna come up, so, yeah, I mean, in answering your question, so, I have to look at, I think about everything is about strategy, right? So the strategy being, we had, when I came here, unfortunately, Chef, there was a lot of frozen prepared soups, right? And I was honest about that.
I'm sorry, what was that?
There were frozen soups,
Oh,
and
okay.
for whatever reason that they were here, Chef was on vacation, and so we have these frozen soups I have to work with on the menu. So that's why it was Chef's choice. So and again, moving forward, again, Chef has a lot on his plate, not to make an excuse, and not that you would be served old soups, but sometimes it's more consistent if you can prep knowing that you have. The beef barley soup is an example that you can prep. So next week I've changed it, and you'll have a split of the soup on 3 days and then another soup on 4 days, right? Because I want to be cognizant of his staffing. He's doing the soups himself, right? So we want to be able that he can train a person when he's making the beef barley, that the next time we have it, they can prep it, because we wanted to make it the same way all the time. So that was the strategy behind having the same soup, because we have to bring the kitchen along, and it's not where it needs to be. It's going there, but the strategy again was to help educate the kitchen staff and them making the soup. The chef can't work 7 days a week, so when he's not here, others are preparing it.
I wanted to compliment you on the soup. Yesterday, it was perfect. So you're not using the same recipe, because the broth of the chicken noodle was different today than yesterday.
It tasted like water today.
It didn't have the chicken base. So I don't know if you got them not following your recipe, but yesterday, everything was perfect. The beef barley, it wasn't watery. They changed. The taste changed. Even it's the same soup, but the taste changed.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to take a look at, because I use the same recipe, but maybe what if they don't tell me? This is what happened last night. We pulled the soup out. Someone was taking the soup from the hot warmer to the whatever we serve it. They dropped the whole thing. So you know what might they be doing? Maybe they added water or something like that.
Right.
So I have to take a look at it, yes.
You were right, it was delicious yesterday.
It was perfect.
Thank you. Thank
And
you very
today
much.
it was like water.
And the day was a different taste.
I will make sure that I will, yes.
But
I
it
will,
was
yes.
perfect.
Yes.
And I wrote you a card saying, please keep this recipe.
Okay, okay, and I've been doing that, yes. I have to look at that, yeah.
Okay.
Because I usually I get 3 containers for our dining room out here, and today for some reason I had 2 of them. And they were not even full, so I'm gonna have to check with the staff and see maybe they watered it or something, so.
Distraction.
Yes, yes.
Back to the sides of vegetables. You used to have cauliflower, you used to have corn, and what happened to corn on the cob? I mean, the season is gone now, and
Yeah.
we only had it like just this last holiday.
Okay.
And it was delicious, to have corn on the cob, but we just don't get that anymore.
I mean,
And secondly, dinner rolls. Our table happens to like dinner rolls.
Sure.
And it's brought to us most of the time warm, but it'll sit there, and after a minute or two, it cools off, and you can't bite into it at all. It's just horrendous, it's terrible. So it's a waste, because I'm sure you're throwing it out. At least I'm throwing mine out because I can't bite it.
Sorry for that.
I will make sure
So
that
I
we
don't
have
know, it's this particular roll, because we've had others and it's been fine. but this road just gets too hard.
Okay, I will make sure that we follow the same way that we did it before. We just, heat them up a little bit, because they might have it under the heat lamp without cover,
Well,
and it gets
whatever.
really crusty,
Yeah, it
really
get
hard.
hard.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Ma'am?
Excuse me, I think your presentation is very good. I like the plates, the way they come out, that sometimes you have a little orchid on it, sometimes you have a bay leaf. I think the presentation, when you sit down to eat, is very important.
Yeah,
And
for
to
the
me
orchids,
it is.
those orchids taste terrible.
Sit back. So that's all I wanted to say.
Appreciate that, thank you.
One night this week, I believe, we had, on the menu, it was listed as sliced roast beef,
Okay.
and made with garlic and so forth and so on, and juices. Well, to me, it represented, when I ordered it, Italian beef, was sliced very thin. I didn't taste the garlic. The only thing missing, I felt, was the Italian bread. So that was a disappointment.
Okay.
To me, that's not sliced roast beef with juice, and it wasn't in that taste.
Okay, thank you. The other thing is, I talked with the chef, and he's working on, we had the request for the cheddar biscuits from a few residents, so we're working on that as well.
What is that? Cheddar biscuits.
Cheddar
You know,
biscuits.
when they had the cheddar biscuits, they were good.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring them.
I'm interested, desserts are always either cake or pie.
Sure.
There's never any fresh fruit on the menu for dessert. And if you want some fresh fruit, they charge you for it. I mean, if you want a watermelon, you have to pay for that piece of watermelon. Now, in a place like this, there should be fresh fruits on every single menu, not just cake and pies.
Okay. I will follow it up. I hear what you're saying. And on that note too, speaking of desserts, so a company I used to work with is a vendor when I was at Monarch Landing, is actually available for us to use. And they have some of the no sugar added and gluten-free desserts. So we'll have more of an assortment. And Chef has told you, we talked about the last meeting, the availability is hard as far as supply chain. And I know everybody's tired of hearing about it, we're tired of hearing about it too. But this vendor deals with it specifically for those items. So those who are on a restricted diet or a sugar-free diet, we're going to be working with this company to bring in their stuff, which will help out a lot for variety.
But why do you have to pay for it? Why do we
I'll-
have to pay for
I'll work on that with the staff.
Because
But I
that's what
understand where
was,
you're coming from.
Monica had said, if we didn't want the dessert and we wanted fruit,
Yeah.
it was gonna be $1 extra charge.
Well, I don't necessarily think that's fair, so I just want to talk with Deb and the staff to make sure that we correct that,
Thank you,
because I understand that you want a healthy choice as well.
thank you.
I'd like to make a suggestion, since this is a senior
Louder,
facility,
please.
a senior facility, turn up your ear, hearing. I'm talking to Don. The prunes and plums and prune juice. Make it available.
You talking about the dry prunes?
That could be,
Yeah.
no, yeah. Available.
Gotcha. Anyone else?
I've also been charged $1 for 2 slices of bread.
Wow. Extra, you mean, when you ordered it? Or ordered,
Pardon?
with your
No,
meal?
I can't hear.
Was it with your meal, you mean, you ordered?
With my meal, there's one waiter and one waitress that will constantly charge $1.
Well, that
So,
was-
yeah, how are you asking for the bread? Is this addition to your meal or a replacement, or how are you asking for the bread?
How do you ask for the bread?
Yes. Bread is not served with your meal, so if
Okay.
you ask for some bread to come with your meal,
Okay.
they charge you extra.
It's
But
like
the
the
rolls
rolls,
are- rolls
there's an
are
extra
charged.
charge for the rolls.
Dinner rolls don't, I don't get
They're
charged.
not- no.
The dinner rolls have been very hard.
Yeah, but they're not charged.
No, correct.
Okay. We'll look into that.
And the other night, we were sitting at our table, and we were waiting, and at the table next to us, they were served their appetizer and their entree, and they were getting ready to order their dessert. We still didn't have our dinner.
I'm sorry for that. That shouldn't happen. And again, it's steps of service, and we're working on that.
No, everything was just ordered plain on the menu, and we just waited. Two of them got up and just left. We never got to sign our ticket even. The waitress never brought it, never asked us for dessert.
Okay.
Most of the waitresses are very complimentary.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Servers are very nice. All the servers are nice.
Just some less.
Some are new and they're learning and they're a little slower
No, the
than
new
others.
ones are very nice.
Any other questions?
No, I have to comment on that. First off, let me say this. I happen to know, I've talked to a lot of people from other places. Basically, I think, well, we're eating institutional food here, but for the most part, I think we're a leg and a half up from most of the places around. And some of the complaints you're getting, some of the quality of the food is much better here than other places. On service, I know because of COVID, it's just a real pain in the butt. I know, but the other day, I ordered blintzes for lunch. It took an hour for them to come out. And I think I asked somebody 2 or 3 times, what happened to lunch? There is, at certain levels, it's just inconceivable, the inconsistency and amount of time it takes for some food to come out. I mean, I could have made blintzes from scratch before they came out, by the time they got out. And other times it's happened to me before, where you sit there and you see, what happened to the food? I don't know what the cause of it, what it is, but.
Okay. And again, we're I know, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but, we're working on those steps of service. Any other questions?
Yeah, did you say in the beginning, maybe I missed it, we're going to have a meeting of this, food and beverage only once during the month?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear that. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Once, and it's gonna be the
Third Wednesday.
Third Wednesday.
1:30.
Okay, thank you.
Are there still 2 sittings and dinner? It's still gonna stay that way
Yeah,
at
yeah.
4:30 and 5:30? And is there a limit still as to how many people can be on a?
Nothing's changed as far as the policy. But hopefully, when restrictions like that, open up as far as our own restrictions, and that's why we're really excited about the new staff coming in. It's gonna take a minute for us to train them, but, when you're looking at it in the next, 2-3 weeks, we're looking for, 11 new servers. It's, that, I know it's frustrating, but we all know it's frustrating for the seatings and everything else, and we understand that. And we appreciate your patience, which, over the last, 2 years, I understand it runs thin. I get it. I don't disagree. But again, we're really excited about the opportunity to bring on the new staff, and it's going to allow us to do, many more things, and hopefully get away from these restrictions, self-induced, but hopefully with this, these servers meet and exceed our expectations, and we'll be able to get with normal hours of service. That's our intention.
So Don, if you're gonna get all the new servers that you're hoping that we'll get, will that also, even though you're gonna have 2 sittings, will it allow the dining room still to be
Yeah,
open
I'm not
though?
even saying we're gonna do the two seatings. If
Oh.
things work out like we expect them to work out,
Yeah,
in a perfect world, right?
yeah,
But our intention, and we have, again, we wanna think of this as positive. We hired these people for a reason. We like them and we like their potential. But again, they have to go through the system, they have to be checked out, and hopefully everybody is good.
yeah.
And we expect them to be. And then once we get them trained, we'll be able to open up the dining room and then have seating, period. Not
Right.
the two seatings. The two seatings help us control the
Okay.
flow and the labor, but provided that, we have all these people work out, there should be no reason, there is no reason why we can't open things up.
Great. It was open when you were here last time. Always open.
Yeah.
Once the COVID came and we all got.
And it was ruined, yeah.
And also, on the last point, and when Dawn comes back, we're gonna talk about it with Chef, because I heard a few people wanting some changes in the menu over at the Tui Tap.
That's it.
So I'm not looking necessarily to expand it, but just some, just keep it fresh with some new items.
Good.
So, and Dawn, the reason I say with Dawn is because, she's with you guys all the time and hearing about the different things that you want and you're looking for, and again, just to kind of keep things interesting. We know that there are a lot of choices outside of Lincolnwood, and we want to be your first choice. But there's plenty of good restaurants around here, but we want you to be able to enjoy what we offer as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We don't have to tell you that Dawn is one of the best. Really.
She runs a good ship.
Yeah, I'm glad she's on vacation, but I'll be happy when she comes back.
So will we.
Yeah, she's good energy. But I thank you for your time, and again, Daniel will upload this to the K4 system. So if you want to watch the recording back, that you'll be able to do that. I'm not sure on the timeline if you'll be able to get it uploaded today or tomorrow, but look for that on your system as for those who have been here like we used to do before. So again, thank you for your time, and we'll see you next month.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Done.